You're watching TVC Breakfast. Now, the All Progressives Congress in Lagos State has declared its support and endorsement of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for a second term in office. The party elders made the declaration at the fourth quarter of APC Stakeholders Forum in Lagos. Solomon Ajizogo has his details of the story.
Just 3 days after the All Progressives Congress APC Lagos State caucuses inaugurated their voter registration mobilization committee, the party converged again for its stakeholders forum. The forum brings together all APC chieftains as they gather for stock-taking and to declare their support for President Bola Tinubu.
Today's meeting will afford us the opportunity to reflect on our performance in the last 2 years, to see how we have fared in our various assignments as the party in power at the federal, state, and local government levels.
Former Governor Akinwumi Ambode made a triumphant reappearance on the political stage with a convivial exchange of pleasantries with chieftains of the APC. If there was ever a doubt about the unity in APC Lagos, this appears to put it to rest.
We are striving to make our party to be the first choice for voters in Nigeria.
At this forum are all the who is who in APC Lagos, former governors, deputy governors, current and past elected representatives at the national and local levels.
So its administration's commitment to workers' welfare is equally reflected in the new minimum national wage. Lagos has continued to move forward with incredible energy and purpose. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our roads and bridges have expanded to ease movement across the metropolis. If they ask you why we say we are progressives, it is because we are determined to improve the human condition.
This meeting was not just about gyration. It was time for frank talk by the ruling party to take stock and review performance, as well as seek better ways to make impact in governance. The APC stakeholders meeting ended with the unequivocal support and endorsement of President Bola Tinubu to seek a second term in office.
Ní agbára Ọlọ́run, ní agbára gbogbo ẹ̀yin stakeholder yìí náà ló máa tún wọlé lẹ́lẹ́kejì sí. Ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́? Ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́? APC!
It is hoped that it does not just end as another talk shop, but actionable talk for better governance. Solomon Ajizogo, TVC News, Lagos.
Now, joining us for this conversation is APC Organizing Secretary, Lagos State Chapter, Ayodele Adewale. Thank you so much for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
Thank you for having me.
Right, so we see two major caucuses coming together, the Justice Forum and the Mandate Group. They are now coming together under one umbrella in Lagos. So what does this really mean for the APC's internal strength and grassroots structure ahead of 2027 general election?
Like every political party, you're going to have different bends within that structure. So those bends that you've mentioned have only streamlined their activity towards the purpose of strengthening the party.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we ordinarily would have thought that this endorsement, Lagos APC would have been the first to endorse Mr. President, and it's happening now. Is it deliberate? Is it that you're waiting for this this meeting before the thing is made public?
Well, it's not a competition. It's not a competition. What we had majorly was a retreat, right? A stakeholders forum where all politically elected officers appointed and party members come together to rejig and look at the goings on in the past few years that we've been on the saddle of leadership. And of course to look seriously on some issues that are very germane and allow people to vent, then pilot way forward and harmonize views. And in the context of that, we resolved that there must be a full support for the president by giving an endorsement, endorsing all his programs, endorsing his journey so far, and endorsing his future, the political space.
We are not surprised, frankly, that the APC in Lagos State is doing this to endorse the president. Of course, this was going to be. I'm looking at the internal structure of APC in Lagos State, and not just Lagos now, but across the country. Why is it necessary for this to be done, not just about the president as it were now, but normally, whether as a governor or so on forth? Why is it necessary for this kind of show to be put out to display that the party is in support of a particular person? That's just a normal thing, that the party is in support of their own person, isn't it?
As it looks so normal, you must also understand that the standard bearers are more like ambassadors of the party. The party meaning the structure and its content. The content, the members of the party have sent them forward to implement the programs of the party. And I use the word endorsement, the endorsing of the president's future carefully and meaningfully, because I've been listening to a lot of media talks there that it seems that we are beating the umpire. No, nobody's beating the umpire, nobody's going against any regulation. The major thing is that you have someone that have done well in accordance with the party programs. He has changed the fortune of the country for good, right? The best you can do for that team is to encourage them and say, thumbs up, we endorse what you're doing, right? Keep going, we're getting closer to another milestone to transit into another space for you to continue what you're doing on behalf of the party. Now, going back to what he has said, if you look at the political journey of Nigeria, pre-independence, when there was advocacy for our independence by our founding fathers, they've always gone on retreats, right? They've always gone on retreat from the action group time to the UPN and to where we have found ourselves, right? They've always gone on retreat. It could be half yearly, it could be quarterly, so as to look at how they've done so far and project for the future, right? And along that space too, things will germinate. If you've done well, they will come out and say, kudos, we endorse what you're doing. Keep going on, right? Don't reduce your speed. It is not to say that it's a campaign. No, it is an endorsement of what you've done, an endorsement of your character, an endorsement of what good that you're dishing out. And of course, we also could see some of the gaps that need to be closed, right, in terms of contending issues, right? We also discuss on those contending issues how to close the gap and how to bring prosperity, more prosperity to our people and the country.
It's good that you made us understand that it is not a form of campaign.
No, it is not.
Because that will be an early start, which is going against the Electoral Act.
We are not known for that.
Well, as a politician.
No, truly. It depends on the corner in which you are looking at the prism, right? We are not known for that.
That's right.
I mean, your team have been doing very well. So if I come to say that I endorse you guys, right? Even if there are other competing media space, right? And maybe along the twilight, something, and people can misunderstand it.
It's actually refreshing to let us know indirectly that we're actually doing very well. So given the shock that the APC, got in the last election, where the Labour Party, I won't say roundly defeated the APC in Lagos, but then APC was actually beaten to its own game in 2023 election, and that was a big shock. What stratagem, I won't be asking about the strategy you put in place, at least part of it is what we see, but how are you going to ensure that Lagos State takes back that position, that glory of winning its state? Because it has never happened in recent times, but it happened. So what are you doing ahead of 2027, apart from what we've seen on TV behind the scene, to ensure that people, you gain the trust of people, and then APC takes back its glory in Lagos State?
That is why the retreat came to be, right?
Yeah.
It's part of why we put it together, to reflect, look at these things and move forward.
Actually, what really happened?
And look, it is not the first time it will happen, right? If you look at pre-independence, in Lagos, what do they call their local government then? I'm trying to remember. when the Abat Macaulay group merged with the Azikiwe party, right, they won Lagos Island, right? That is not to say that the UPN, the action group didn't go back to reflect. They went back to reflect and looked at what had happened. And when the next election came, they took it back, right? So it's natural. Things will always happen that way. But when it happens, right, it's not how many times a man falls that matter. It is how many times they are able to stand up and continue the race. Right? And that is why the retreat had come up. We've talked about all of these issues, talk about party loyalty, talk about programs, talk about the future of Lagos, talk about the future of Nigeria, and we also invited ministers and some stakeholders to also tell the people how far you've gone. So it's more of an academic session, right? Showing the optics and showing the roadmap and showing areas where we need to close the gap.
That's right.
Oh, okay. Earlier on, we were talking about crisis management within the APC. And you are the organizing secretary, and what the headlines are saying is that your tenure might be elongated, and there's some people are not very happy about it. Could you tell us about that a little bit?
There's nothing like tenure elongation. It depends on the interpretation of people, especially when discussions are taking place. The party is going to go through all of the rudiments and content of its constitution, right, in order to transit or to conduct another Congress or election, as the case may be. So there is no stone coming, and nothing is cast in stone yet, right? Everybody will go through that process, and let's wait for the aftermath.
So what prompted the headlines? It's on the papers today.
It is the figment of the writer, right? You rightly mentioned headlines.
But it quoted the Governors Forum of the APC of saying that headline. They are disquiet about it. It quoted the governors. So which means, and remember the governors just stood up from a meeting in Kebbi State, I think last week, yes. This was part of what they discussed. But so if that is on the table, shouldn't there be that there's some smoke underneath this?
I'm not aware of that. And hold on. I'm not aware of that. I'm not here to contest what you're saying. If anybody has said it, I would like to listen to it fully in order to understand where that context is coming from, right? Don't be quick to forget. There are some people who have come into the party. So if you're talking along that narrative, how are you going to harmonize their interests? Right? So those kind of headlines are seed of discord. So I will say, put it aside. The party's charter is there, the party constitution is there, and they are going to go through all of this.
Sorry, if you want to dismiss, that, just the way you've done, you need to recall that APC conducted its last world, local government and state congresses in 2021. And then they also did that of the National Convention in 2022, your party, which produced Ayodele Adewale, Senator Ayodele Adewale. So that is what they are talking about. So another one is around the corner. PDP is talking about its own, is the next month, thereabout, November the 15th. Yes. So they are saying, what is your party doing? Because it could mean that it could be an elongation of tenure. Some people are interested in getting to this position as well.
With the profoundest of respect, you've always talked abstractly with the profoundest of respect. Because I can't pick out the substance in what you've said in terms of being assertive to your fact. I am saying that the party has a constitution. The constitution of the party has made provisions in order to capture your fear. And I'm saying, let's go through...
it's not my fear, actually.
No, from your presentation. It's not my fear. That is why I said with the profoundest of respect.
No, I get the point.
From your presentation, right? Let's just journey on. Forget what naysayers are saying, right? People can drop tantrums, they can drop headlines and other things. One, to bring out their paper or medium in terms of visibility. Well, you understand the second route is for economy.
So we should sit down and look.
It is not sit down and look. No, you have to observe.
That's
right. And hold on to the party constitution. That's right. So wherever there is a gap, you raise it and say, no, you are not following your constitution.
Well, like you said, the party has a constitution, so we wait to see at the end of the tenure if the party would go with the line of the Constitution, in line with what you just said. But let's talk about something you will probably be aware of. The former governor of Lagos State, Ambode, was there. I would say that this retreat was a display of APC's full colors in Lagos State. Do we get to see a comeback of the former governor to complete what is, you know, should I use the word naturally, a political 8 years of governors and any other elected officer? Are we seeing a comeback of that?
It is all about joining within the party mainstream, right? Former Governor Ambode is very popular in the party. You saw when former Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola came out, there was a lot of support and, you know, applause and all. When the present governor also came out, Governor Sanwo-Olu, you saw the same thing. If the president was around there, you will see how everybody will be joyful, right? So it's about the party. It's about the popularity within the party. It's about the party's strength, right? And that is what we have harmonized together under that platform in order to discuss the future, the present of the party, and how we move forward from there.
But it would then look like, you know, from what we saw and the story we've been hearing for quite a while now, the wounds have been mended. Probably, if not a comeback to the seat as the governor of the state, some kind of other, you know, works or garment prepared for him in the party.
What garment?
An elective garment, or an appointed garment.
It's open, right? It's open. We all have our destinies, and we pray for very good destinies, right? It's open, right? Nobody have, foreclosed any journey towards destiny, right? Let's journey on and see what happens.
Okay, let us look at the 2027 election. Ibrahim earlier on asked you your preparations against the kind of surprise that happened in 2023 and so on. What is the party pushing forward now? The marketing tool, so to say, that the APC is pushing forward to ensure that Lagos is squarely won by the APC?
The party is pushing forward its programs, right? The party wants a more robust educational system in the country. You can see what they've done with the NELFund, and they want to do more there. The party is pushing forward infrastructural programs, both at the state and in the federal.
That's right.
The party is pushing forward empowerment, right, towards making sure that each individual is self-sustained without relying on any appendages, right? Your alignment will be on the basis of your strength, capacity in order to improve yourself and your space, right? The party is pushing for foreign investments in order to attract them into the country, both at the state and the federal, and of course at the local government. The party is pushing forward on how to continue to strengthen the relationship between the local, the state, and the federal. And of course for women empowerment, youth empowerment, and social interactions. These are what is most germane in the heart of the party. And not to forget security, right? The party is also working day and night to improve the security architecture and situation in the country beyond the next elections. That is what is germane in the minds of party members.
And then we have the oppositions who are also, you know, gathering themselves. They're getting together, especially looking at the ADC, and they're saying they're going to give APC a run for their money, not just at the state level, but at the national level. Are you, you know, somehow, some way perturbed, you know, worried as to what these people can do? Because they are actually getting people, winning people over to their party to say, we want to dislodge the APC. Do you think all these programs that you've done so far are enough to convince the people to, you know, re-elect the APC, both at the state and the national level?
All the programs that we've done so far, right, have brought more support to the party. But it is not yet a rule. We know that there's still a lot to be done. And that is what we're concentrating on, beyond what the opposition, like you have said, are moving forward. And that's why they have the opposition. They must look for something to say. But we are staying focused to the programs that we have brought forward that gave us the constitutional mandate to govern this country. And we are not moving away from that.
Well, the party has supported President Bola Tinubu for a second term. That's the national. Who is the party supporting for a comeback or a coming in Lagos State?
The space is open, right? Governor Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu is moving on with lovely programs, right? As he journey on to completing his second tenure, right? Others will come to continue from where he has stopped. Lagos has a blueprint, right? Lagos blueprint is more of a marathon than a sprint.
That's right.
As we move forward, we rejig it as social realities confront us and as population explodes, right? The more Lagos develop, the more people come into Lagos, the more we have to review our plans, and that is part of what we have come, we discussed at that forum.
So no anointed candidate yet?
There's nothing like anointment.
Politics is going to hold on.
There's not like anointment.
We might be speaking with the next governor.
Right.
All right, then. APC Organizing Secretary, Lagos State Chapter, Ayodele Adewale. It's always a delight to have you on the show. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Right, you stay with us here on TVC Breakfast. Federal government joined forces with key players in the private sector to drive innovation, increase food production, and create sustainable jobs. Join us after the break for the